I think of Mike as a guide. He is a guide taking people on sailing expeditions, and he is a guide to your own inner expedition. He also has Michael Wachner with him this morning doing some wonderful music, and I hear rumors you're going to do a meditation later. So we are blessed with Mike Squared this morning. Please help me welcome Mike Foley.
Well, thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this very cold morning? Good. I'm echoing, but that's okay. Except what is, right? All right. Once again, welcome to Michael Wachner. We've got some amazing music that we're looking forward to hearing from Michael today. So why don't we just start right off and just get centered. So please close your eyes, get really comfortable in your seat, and just take a big, deep breath. And one more just like that. And just let yourself fully arrive from your busy week and release all tension. Take one more breath. And with the exhale, just feel the tension going out of your body. And the stress of your daily lives rushing from place to place. And just for this hour, let it all go. Let it all go. And on the next exhale, just release it all. And I encourage you to let this be the 1 hour where you relax, you receive, and you let go of the need to be anywhere or do anything. So let's just take one more big, deep breath. Nothing to do but receive. And with that theme in mind, let's receive Michael Wachner's first song.
Thank you, Mike. It's good to be part of Michael Squared.
I like that. M squared.
This is going to be a really interesting Sunday service. I'm pretty excited about this. Michael and I there's been a lot of energies coming up, and I'm going to explain a little bit more as we go here. I'm going to do a little something today that I've never done before, ever, in public, so I'm pretty excited about it. This is a time of miracles, a time of so many things shifting into the amazing. So with that thought, this first song is all about that kind of thing. This is a song entitled Begin.
Hear the choir singing in the night, bringers of the dawning light. I know the truth will show the way, bring us to a brighter day. Yeah, I think it's time for all the world to come home, with love and tenderness the seeds have been sown. Bring all the pieces back together once again. Let the miracles begin. Begin. Yeah. It's taken a while to understand the great, great power of I am. Forever strong when we come together, lifted up, light as a feather. Now I think it's time for all the world to come home, with love and tenderness the seeds have been sown. Bring all the pieces back together once again. Let the miracles begin. Oh, now let the miracles begin. Now listen. Oh, I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for a miracle. Ready to take a giant leap of faith. Bring all the pieces back together once again. Let the miracles begin. I'm coming home to familiar ground, led back by your beautiful sound. But in my heart, I've never been away. Oh, 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 yeah. Let the miracles begin. Let the miracles begin. Yeah, yeah. Let the miracles begin.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning. Very nice and so appropriate. So as Michael was alluding to, this talk and the music and the meditation, everything is fresh out of the oven. So we've been talking to each other and through the week a couple times, and it was just a ton of energy. So the title of my talk today is Remembering Who We Are. And I thought it was funny, out on the sign out there, it says Adventurer Mike Foley. Well, things all go in cycles, so I've been kind of dormant for a while. My adventures these days exist, or they pretty much consist of me taking my new puppy to the dog park. So the adventure's been at the dog park, which has been an adventure. So the thing that came to me all week, and it's no coincidence that it's probably going to be the coldest day of the winter today, if not tomorrow. We are absolutely in the dead of winter, right where we're at, right here, right now. And nothing was coming except the word Om. Om. And it's actually A-U-M. You see it as O-M, but it's A, which is opening, U, which is O, and then M, which is the closing. So this is the thing that, as I kept trying to come up with stuff all week, Om just kept coming back to me again and again and again. And it's no coincidence Michael was just talking about beginning. Beginning is the the bursting forth of life, and we'll talk more about that. But the ancient Vedic and Sanskrit traditions agree with modern science that you, me, all living things, all things in existence are made up of at their most essential level of a vibrating, pulsing energy. The very first thing that was present in the universe was a vibration. And a vibration always has a sound, whether we can hear it or not. So sound was the first thing in the universe. And the mantra of Om is composed of 4 elements. The first of these are A-U-M, as I just mentioned, and then the fourth is the silence, the unknowing, the mystery of life. And this also represents the 4 planes of consciousness. So A is the normal waking consciousness. This is the level of mechanics and science and logical reasoning and the 3 lower chakras. Matter exists on the gross level. The U, or the dream consciousness, the dream state, is where the substantial and the insubstantial become intertwined and in awareness. This is the realm of dreams and divinities and imagination, the inner world. And then the M is where all become one and nothing. Only pure consciousness exists, unseen, pristine, latent, covered with darkness. This is the cosmic night, the interval between cycles of creation, the womb of the Divine Mother, where all becomes one. And those are the 3 stages of life. And then back into the silence. So as you can see, it's a cycle that goes around and around and around forever. All right. So it's birth, it's life bursting forth, it's full career, it's full manifestation, it's the fullness of life, and then it's the closing down, the contraction, the death, and then back into silence. So if you believe in reincarnation, this is obviously the same process, the same for the seasons. Right now, we're totally in the silence. That's the one thing I do love about winter is the silence. Has anybody, next time you're about to run inside because it's so cold, just take 2 minutes and just stand there and just listen. Especially if it's snowing, it's like there's a beautiful silence. It's awesome, and it only exists in winter if you can stay out for just a couple minutes there. So that's where we're at right now, is we're in that silence. So come March, April, what happens? Especially here in Minneapolis. People go nuts, right? Just go down to the lake on the first it's Minnesota, first 40-degree day, and people are going crazy with their dogs, and everybody's going around the parks, and it's life bursting forth with the buds and the spring and everything else. And then by midsummer, it's the fullness of life, all right? It's there in its full manifestation. And then come the fall, things start contracting. They start going quiet again, all right? And that's the cycle of life. And you can see this. I just saw the river runs through it again. There's a great quote in there, and it says, "Eventually all things merge into one, and a river runs through it. The river was cut by the world's great flood and runs over rocks from the basement of time. On some of the rocks are timeless raindrops. Under the rocks are the words, and some of the words are theirs. I am haunted by waters, and a river runs through it." So once again, the silence that we go back to. So another example of this would be on a more practical basis, I guess, would be our relationships, our jobs. So has anybody, if you really look at your jobs, your career, have you noticed how it starts off with a burst of energy? You get to a place where you're in mastery, and then what happens after that? It's the same old thing. And eventually, what's being called for is to go back into the unknowing, the silence, and then to start again with something new. Now, what happens for many of us, nobody here, I'm sure, but for me, we get to that place where we don't want to let go, and we just hang on for dear life when life is calling for us to go back into the unknowing. And so how many people have stayed in a job a little too long where you got to that place? Yeah? How about a relationship? Anybody notice relationships stay too long? Hang on? Because we would rather have the known than the unknown. So it's very present there. So another example of this is the dog park. What a wonderful place. My friends Michael and Julie were telling me about the adventures at the dog park, but now they've got 2 dogs. Now that I got this puppy, I sit at the dog park for hours, just amazed at all the interactions. It's amazing. So my little Rhodesian Ridgeback, she's 3 months old. She has legs this long, and she is so much energy and absolutely no mass at all. So, I mean, you can see her, I'm her feeder, but she looks like, we're starving her to death. She will run into a pack of dogs with just total energy. Hey, what's going on? And all these dogs will snap at her because she's pure energy. The dogs that rule the dog park are 2 to 4-year-olds. These dogs understand, they're fully aware, and they have the full energy. And then you got the older dogs at the dog park, and they're totally content just to kind of hang out and just be. So that is true of us as well in our stages of life. So I live in Uptown, in the Flux Apartments, right near all those new bars, and at 1 o'clock on Friday night and 1 o'clock on Saturday night, you can see the youthful energy out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's very loud. And I swear to God, they're playing the same song that they played 30 years ago, that song, it was the same song they were playing in the bars when I was there 30 years ago. So let's do this. Let's do 3 ohms together. So close your eyes, just get centered, and let's take a big deep breath, and we'll do 3 ohms in sequence, all right? So, Let's do it one more time, but this time I want you to be fully aware of the vibration that's going through your mouth this time. So another big breath. Last one. Thank you. So, what should we remember as we try to live in alignment with the creative vibration of the universe? Well, number one, I would say the thing to remember here is resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. And I wish I had known this at a younger age. So who here would like to resist the creative energy of the universe? Anybody? Any takers? You don't want to resist the creative energy of the... Oh, I know, I tried for years. It's kind of like my new puppy, Zara. She is this stubborn little thing, and we'll be walking, and Ridgebacks are smart, kind, great with kids, a little bit stubborn. Yeah, a little bit stubborn, please. All right, so she's 20 pounds, and she will slam on the brakes. It'll take you off your feet. She's 20 pounds. I mean, she's that resistant. And to me, it's no coincidence that I have this dog. As the alpha dog, we're going on a walk whether she likes it or not. She can slam on the brakes, but we're going around the block, all right? Now, to me, life is like that. Life wants to take each one of us around the block for a walk, and it doesn't care if you want to slam on the brakes. And it's kind, loving, but it's taking you for a walk, whether you like it or not. And anybody notice this? Yeah, me too. So what I'm saying here is life is kind. Life is always kind, but life has an agenda for us. You're here for a reason. And life is going to take us for a walk. Byron Katie, who's one of my favorite spiritual teachers, she says, life is simple. Everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens at exactly the right moment, neither too soon nor too late. You don't have to like it. It's just easier if you do. All right? She went to India, I guess, and she thought they were saying, no mistake, and it's namaste, right? There is no mistake. So in other words, there's just no getting around the Om. There's no getting around. You can resist it, think, oh, that's phooey, but Om pretty much rules the roost here. So what does resistance look like? We talked about staying in a job too long, staying in a relationship too long. For pushing, who here ever finds themselves pushing for something? You have an idea, an agenda, and it's a good one. It's charity. You're doing good work, but life just isn't matching up with you. Anybody ever get that? Yeah, me too. So this talk, I was pushing all week. I've been pushing, and nothing has been coming. And so last night at 10 o'clock at night, and I was right at like I've got nothing. I said, that's it. I can't, I've been up like 3-4 times every night with this puppy. So I was like, 10 o'clock, I got to go to bed. I can't do it. And I went to bed trusting the silence, trusting the creative energy of the universe, like the winter of life. And it woke me up at 4 o'clock, and this whole thing just downloaded. Now, the trick here is it never matches up with the title of the talk that I gave Laura earlier in the week, but that's beside the point. So that's pushing, and then that's surrendering. And what I've noticed is if we can each surrender sooner, life is so gentle. I keep waiting for that other shoe. Now that I've gotten older and I surrender sooner, I keep thinking there's no shoe if you surrender sooner. And the question here, the next one would be, remember, everything is in its right place and unfolding exactly as it should. Robert Adams, favorite author of mine, says, whatever is destined to happen is going to happen, no matter how hard you try to stop it. And whatever is destined not to happen will never happen, no matter how much you try to make it happen. There is absolutely nothing to worry about, nothing to fear, nothing to conquer, nothing to win, nothing to lose. Everything is unfolding the way it should. Everything is in its right place. There are no mistakes. Everything is lovely and beautiful just the way it is. And then in Desiderata by Max Ehrmann, I'll just take a little section. It says, "You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should." So I would say a big part of the Om is self-acceptance, and accept where you are in the process, whether it be your relationships, your job, your physical being. Where are you? Is it life bursting forth? Is it full mastery? Is it closing down and contraction? Or is it back into the silence? And to accept where we're at and align with, because each of these has its own vibration. For us to align with that vibration wherever we're at in life, that's called acceptance, and that's when everything comes together. So for me and my relationship with my girlfriend Angelica, we've been together 2.5 years now. And the first 2 years it was new and fun and all this. But now, we moved in together and we're more into the fullness of life. We're not getting sleep. We smell like dog. We got teenagers running around the place. The place is, a disaster. So we're more into the fullness portion of our relationship. Physically, I'm a little closer to the than I'd like to be. I've turned 50 this year, and I really noticed this a few years ago when I determined that I was more mass than energy. Has anybody ever, do you ever know, what day did you wake up that you were more mass than energy? Did you ever ask yourself that? All right? Because see, kids, they're more energy than mass. I'm definitely more mass. So I was sailing out in the Puget Sound with my friend Catherine, and we got into this little town in Canada called Ganges, and we thought, we'll go take a walk, and we'll meet back here at this pub for dinner. So I go off, and I'm walking along and having this great walk, and it's beautiful, gorgeous, and I trip. And I go down this ravine. I tripped over, and it was a huge, long ravine. I'm like, I'll stop myself. And it was like the weirdest out-of-body experience. I kept seeing this mass of a body, flip over and over and over and over. And I went to the entire bottom of the ravine before I knew it. I was like, this is so humbling. I have become more mass and energy. And and then another example is over in St. Paul, they had the Republican National Convention a few years ago, and there was those kind of riots going on over there. And I thought, I wonder what these kids are up to. So I went over just to see what's going on. And I'm standing there, and I see all the kids, and the cops are all in the black and the helmets and the tear gas and all this, and they're going a certain direction, and the kids are throwing stuff at it. And I thought, that's so interesting. I wonder how this is going to play out. So I just kind of saw stay curious in life, right? Where the whole crowd was moving to. So I just kind of cut the corner and went way over there. And I'm just standing there. I thought they were all going to be coming this way, and then I see one kid run by, and then another kid run by, and then a whole bunch of kids run by. And then suddenly all the cops with the black and the clubs, they start running, and I'm just standing there. And this cop comes up to me, and he says, "Would you like some assistance in crossing the street?" And so clearly I don't look like a revolutionary anymore. So we have to accept the in life, and I'm doing yoga now, so I'm trying to get some more energy physically. But that's where I'm at with my physical body these days. So the last one I would say is to remember is that your time here is finite. Your time here is finite. Don't wait. Take action. Be bold. Don't hold back. Goethe says, "Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic. Begin it now." And Eckhart Tolle, I saw him a few years ago, and he's a really funny guy. He's a little guy, and he comes out, and he sits down, and he's very quiet, and there's 2,000 people in the audience, and he goes, "If you came to see a motivational speaker, I don't do that." The crowd just burst out laughing. And he took a feather, and he goes, "This is your life right here." And he drops the feather, and it just went down to the ground. And his point was, our life is finite. So your feather's flying right now. So with whatever's left, with the distance, use it. Use it. Be absolutely bold because you have nothing to lose. Stephen Jobs, one of his final quotes, he said, "Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life, because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking that you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart." And this is a business guy coming up with this. So I'll leave you with this. One of my favorite, you can look it up on YouTube, Dave Matthews. It's called "Every Day." It's a song where this guy goes out and hugs people. And, he says, "Pick me up, love, every day. Pick me up, oh, from the bottom, up to the top, love, every day. Pay no mind to taunts or advances. I take my chances on every day. Left to right, jump in the mud. Oh, get your hands dirty with love. Give it up, love, every day." Dave Matthews. So let's do an experiment. What I'd like to do is encourage you to get filthy with love. So I'd like you to stand up and hug 5 people, if you're willing. If you're willing. So give people around you, just be bold. Be bold.
Dirty.
Get dirty. Getting dirty. Getting filthy with love. Hey, there's my fifth. Yeah, enough of that. Enough of that. That's right. Get filthy with love. There you go. Okay, so in closing, I wish each of you, the fullness of life, the fullness of Om. And that is the fullness of your creative energy bursting forth, the fullness of your mastery, and the fullness of your content, and then the peace that exists in silence. And that is you, that is your life, and that is Om. Amen. Thank you.
There we go. Well, we're going to try a little experiment here. I don't know how this is going to work, but I want to give you a little bit of a story to tell you kind of what happened here over the last month or so. But I went to Scottsdale, Arizona for a 3-day event for 12-12-12, which was pretty amazing. Some incredible speakers there and teachers, Steve Rother, Jeffrey Hopp, Peggy Underbo, if you're familiar with any of them, but some really awesome people. And something happened to me on the 3rd day of the event. And without getting into too long a story, because there's other things that need to be done right now, but I would call it an activation of sorts. It was kind of an answer to a prayer, which was, how can I be of more service? How can I become more of your vessel? The songs are one way, but there's more information that I feel needs to be there. And something happened on the 3rd day, and I was kind of collaborated by some photos that were taken that had things that looked like, initially like photo errors, big balls of light around my head, and it was very interesting. But I let it go, just put it up to it was great energy, great experience. Well, about a week later, I woke up in the middle of the night and I started channeling, which I've never done before. I believe that my music is channeled and all my songs come to my dreams, but I never consciously channeled when I was awake. And so this was quite an experience, and I told my wife about it, and a couple of days later we sat down and I said, well, see if I'm crazy, let's do this together. And we did it together, and she said, "You're not crazy. They're saying things that you wouldn't say in ways that you wouldn't say it." I come to find out that they're a group of Arcturians, and some other people have joined the table, as they put it, and nicknamed themselves the A-Team, which I thought was kind of fun, because I don't know if you ever saw that show from the 70s. It was kind of a group of misfits that, through courage and innovation and cleverness, always overcame great odds to accomplish these impossible tasks. So they said, "That's what we're all here to do. That's what you're all here to do. You're all our A-Team, but you can nickname us the A-Team just so we have something to call us." I said, "Okay." So, by the way, you're going to be at Lake Harriet in about 2 weeks, and we want to address the group at Lake Harriet. And I said, "Let me get this straight. I've never done this. I've only been doing this 3 weeks, and you want me to do it the first time in public in front of people, and I've never done this before in my life." "Yeah, won't it be exciting?" Okay. So I committed that I would do it. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I have no idea. I do have another song that I wanted to play. I was going to play that after, during the offering. But frankly, I don't know where my energy is going to be, if I'm going to be gathered enough to sing a song at the end of this. So I think I'll do the song now, because the song really was written just before 12-12-12, and it's very short and sweet, but the essence of it is kind of tied into our theme today, which is remembering who we are. And that's what they want to talk to you about today. So if you were willing, I'd like to try this today. What do you think? Okay. So I'm going to put this here, because when I get done with the song, I'm going to come over here, and I think I'm going to sit and try to figure this out, but we'll see.
Before the grand beginning, I wonder where you were. What was it you were feeling that made you want to start it all? In an instant, a billion stars were born, and somehow I was too, forgetting where I started from. But I won't stop trying to remember. How could I ever try to know your mind? But in my dreams I felt you through the veiled lines. Across an ocean of space and time, the echoes of your love are like ripples on a pool of glass. But I won't stop trying to remember. And Chris, if you would start that song that we talked about. Thank you.
So just hold that space. Greetings. We are grateful to be here today. We were very excited about this prospect. There's many things we'd like to talk to you about, but we only have a short period of time. So we're going to get to the chase. We want to talk to you today about relationships. You'll say, relationships, relationships. How does that tie into the aspect of remembering who we are? Relationships, relationships. How does that tie into your theme of remembering who we are? We would tell you that relationships apply to everything that you do. For our whole existence here on this planet is all about relationships. Your relationships with your body, your relationships with your employer, your family, your loved ones, your relationship with your dog. We're dogs. Your relationship with your food that you eat, the relationships with the car that you drive, the air that you breathe, relationships with the weather, in which you and your courageous souls are bearing so bravely today to be here. So we will tell you that we want to talk to you about relationships and how it ties in with remembering who we are. We'll cut to the chase, and it's quite simple. We wish for you to remember there are two waves of energy coming in right now to this planet. One wave, chaos, confusion, upset, confrontation, resistance, which, as Michael Foley stated, is futile. That's one wave. The other wave is a wave of joy, gratitude, appreciation, being present, all the aspects of the essence of who you really are. And we would tell you that moment by moment you choose where you be. You choose which wave you'll be a part of. And we know that life will bring you into spaces in which maybe somebody cuts you off in traffic or something happens in a business relationship that may not suit you. Life just happens. And when it does, try to notice. Set the intention. Am I where I want to be? Is this the wave that I want to be in? Because you have the power to choose. We would tell you that it's all based on intention, and that being aware and conscious on an ongoing basis, moment by moment, is what we're here to talk about today. You can choose. The feather is falling. And yet there's so much there for you to experience. So much joy, so much love, so much happiness. But the time is now where our thoughts and our intentions create everything that surrounds us. Where you place your thoughts, where you place your intentions, will shape what you experience. So for a moment we would say, remember who you are. And if you're not sure, then we would tell you this. Ask yourself this question. Who is it that you want to be? How do you want to be? With every relationship in your life, every relationship in your life, everything. How do you want to be with the food you eat? How do you want to be with the family? How do you want to be with your partner, with your spouse? How do you want to be with your animals? How do you want to be with your employer? How do you want to be? Who do you want to be? We tell you that it's your choice. It's your choice. And we encourage you to make the choice. You start by setting the intention, asking the question, and listening. Who do you want to be? How do you want to be? Who do you want to be? We know we have to bid you farewell in a few more minutes, so there's one more exercise that we would like to take you with us on. We'd like to ask you, hear yourself inside your mind asking yourself the question, who do I want to be? Just hear it in your mind. Now, allow it to dissipate and become quieter. Hear the question, but quieter. Who do I want to be? And even quieter now. Who do I want to be? In this space, there is great love and great power. And this is a place that you can come back to anytime. Know that if you are here today, there is a reason for it. We are so delighted that you allowed us here today to hear this message, to feel this energy. We're going to sit with you for a moment and let this one collect himself. We would leave you with the reminder. Become aware of your relationships, for they are boundless and they are many. And you now know that you can choose moment by moment who you want to be in each of those and how you want to be. Now we know that before we leave, Michael tells us that we need to do an offering. So if we could have the group that is helping with this, we'd like to take a moment and this is another moment where you have an opportunity. Your relationship with Lake Harriet Spiritual Center is one of the many. As you send your gratitude and your love for this space, for the staff, for the speakers and the music, and all that is offered here. Remember who you want to be and how you want to be. Bless these gifts. We receive them as appreciation. We send you our love. We are so very proud of you for your courage and your commitment. For you are here not by accident. Your place in this world right now is perfect. And we look forward to seeing the expressions of you. We love you, and for now, we bid you farewell.
Any other announcements? No? So why don't we circle up? Thank you. That was absolutely beautiful, Michael. Grab the hand of the person next to you. Oh, there we go. And in lieu of a song, why don't we just close with 3 ohms, but this time I want you to feel them as in your heart and with as much peace and love as you can possibly feel. So, big breath. And as you go forward today, I urge you to align yourself with the Om energy in the universe. As we listen to its promptings and guidance, we will most certainly find the peace that transcends all. Amen. Amen.